Hey guys, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And it feels like forever since we've just sat down and chatted about movies and movie recommendations, and that's exactly what we're going to do today, because I know I've been focusing quite a bit on collection videos, and that was really just to break up the monotony of the channel and, give it a little refresh. So I have picked out some movies today, and I'm going to go over them, and hopefully you'll find something or a few somethings in the pile that you like. And I actually have one that's a little different, a little indie horror movie that I really enjoyed, and I think you'll enjoy it too. And if I seem a little distracted, it's that back there. As you can see, I have Leatherface breathing down my neck. He just got here yesterday from Trick or Treat Studios. And if you're not familiar with Trick or Treat Studios, I'm going to link them down in the description. They have some great masks, so definitely head over and check out their mask selection. And they're actually doing a new Michael Myers mask, I think in September, August or September. I pre-ordered it, but I'm not really sure when it comes. But definitely check them out because they have some cool things on there. And if you're into masks and all that stuff, I think you're really going to like their site. And great quality, too. So I'm just going to get right into these. And with the recommendations, I just give you enough bullet points to let you decide for yourselves if these are things that you want to pick up, rent, or whatever, however you watch your media. But I liked all of these. And the first one is from 2013. It's called Cheap Thrills. It is a dark comedy. And the tagline reads, "What doesn't kill you makes you richer." And this is our cast of characters. And we have our main character is this guy. And he is just right out of the gate. We find out that he's in dire straits financially. He is an aspiring writer. That is not working out for him. He has a wife and a new baby. And he's working in an auto garage to kind of pay the bills while he tries to get his writing career off the ground. And it's just not working out for him. But he keeps that from his wife. And this is all within the first 5 minutes of the movie. He leaves for work. There's an eviction notice on the door. He crumbles it up. He's like, forget it. And he goes to work. And by the end of the day, he is laid off. So first he doesn't like his job. Then he doesn't even have the job that he doesn't like. So on his way home, he stops at a bar where he runs into this fella over here who is an old friend of his. And it becomes obvious that they have some sort of awkwardness between them, like maybe their friendship didn't quite end on such a good note, but they're trying to keep the nice face on and, keep it cordial and casual, and they just sort of do the catching up, how have you been type of thing, and keep the niceties rolling. And they're having a good time, they're having a few drinks, and they are approached by this couple. And now, if you watch The Office, you'll remember this guy because he played Todd Packer, the most inappropriate person you could ever meet in the universe of The Office. And he kind of plays the same character in this movie, just a little more subdued. He's not as loud and as inappropriate as he was on The Office. And he is with this beautiful woman down here. She's gorgeous. And you're just saying to yourself, how the heck are these two together? Well, it turns out he's got money. And what he starts doing is he starts taking these two guys and daring them. He's like, listen, if you can get a bullseye on the dartboard, I'll give you $50. If you can get that girl over there to slap you across the face, I'll give you $200. Keeps kind of upping the ante a little bit. And at one point they end up, I believe they get thrown out of the bar. I can't remember if they decide to leave or they get thrown out. I think they get thrown out. And the guy says to him, hey, we're having such a good time. Why don't you come back to our apartment? We'll keep the party going. Well, when they get back to the apartment, what they find out is the guy has a grand plan. And his plan is to just have these series of dares. And each time they do a dare, there's more money involved. And whoever completes the dare first gets the money. And with this guy, our main guy, he is so desperate for money. But at the same time, because there's some sort of underlying animosity between the two guys, there's also a level of competitiveness. So they're not just going for the money, but they're also super competitive. And the more and more bizarre and difficult the dares become and the more money's involved, the more competitive they get. And it's crazy. But yes, it's a dark comedy, but there's also a lot of violence, a lot of blood and gore, and some really disgusting things that go on. But if you don't mind that kind of comedy, you're really going to like this because the story as a whole is good and it really held my interest the whole time. The runtime isn't long. It's like 85 minutes. But I thought it was a lot of fun. And yes, you do have the violence and the gore and whatnot, but you also have some, like, what would you do if you were desperate for money and you were going to lose your home? How far would you go? It kind of, it kind of begs a question. How far would you go to save your family? And that's kind of what we're left with. And I don't want to get into any spoilers, but I can tell you that the ending, it was fitting, but it kind of took me off guard. But I really enjoyed this one, and yes, I had to look away a few times because it was kind of like Fear Factor, where the show Fear Factor, if you're familiar with that, you kind of, it's like a car wreck. Like, you can't look away, but you don't really want to look, and you're kind of holding, shielding your eyes a little bit. But yeah, this was a good one. So I would definitely say, yeah, check out Cheap Thrills, and if you're down to buy this is a really nice edition. It comes in the clear case, which I love these clear cases. But it also comes with disc art. You get disc art. Hopefully it'll focus. Focusing, maybe. There we go. And we get some nice interior artwork. As you can see, the guy getting punched in the face, so you know what you're kind of in for. And then it comes with a black and white booklet of stills and a few little blurbs about the movie. But yeah, this one was it was a lot of fun. I would definitely say that this one was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed this. So if you're not of the faint of heart, you'll probably dig that one. And this next one is from 2017, and I heard about it through some reviewers who I have faith in their choice of movies. It comes from MVD, and it's called The Vault. It stars James Franco. And basic plot synopsis, again, because I don't want to give anything away. We have a bank, and we have these two sisters who are kind of estranged, and they decide to hold up this bank to get money for their brother, who is in a lot of trouble with some sort of people that we don't actually get to know. And they decide to rob this bank, and when they get there and they get everything set up and they have their robbery in progress, they find out that the vault is pretty much empty. That's where James Franco's character comes in. He walks in and he introduces himself as either the assistant manager or the manager, and he says, listen, I can help you. I can help you figure this whole thing out. And in the process of everything, what they find out is that the bank had been robbed 20 years before, and there is a vault downstairs because the bank used to be in a different place than where it is now. Now it's upstairs. It used to be downstairs, so the main vault is downstairs, and no one ever goes down there. So there is money down there, but no one will go down there because they believe it is haunted. So this is a really unique film because it is a bank robbery and, your bank heist type of thing. But it's also a really, really good ghost story. So is it a perfect movie? No. But is it a good movie? Yes. I really, really enjoyed this one. And I really like the way they work the two stories together. Like, you have your typical bank robbery and all the things that you see in a bank robbery film. And then you have this really, really good ghost story that goes on when they actually go downstairs and try and get into this vault downstairs. But really good. And the ending, it's kind of a different kind of an ending, but it's one of those endings that made me want to go back and watch the film again to see what I missed, what clues I missed during the film. So right there, I think you have your rewatchability in this one. And I think that pretty much everybody who sees it is going to want to rewatch it because you're going to want to see what you missed. And you're definitely going to see it in a different way on your second, subsequent watches. So I would say this is a safe buy. And I don't think it was really expensive either. You pick it up on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, The Vault is a really, really good one. And it's a lot of fun. And if you like, a little bit of horror mixed in with your bank robberies, you're going to really enjoy this one. And James Franco was great in it. And one of the sisters is Tara Manning, who, if you watch Orange is the New Black on Netflix, you'll recognize her. She plays Doggett on Orange is the New Black. But yeah, really good performances all around. The pacing was good. I was never bored. Everything moved right along, and a really, really solid movie, I thought. And like I said, was it perfect? No, but it was definitely entertaining, and it was one of those films that's it's different than anything I've seen, and I like when films bring something different to the table. Now this one, you know how I love my Japanese and Korean films. This is a Korean film. It came highly recommended from several viewers, and it's called New World. And this is a straight up gangster film, And I have to be really, really careful with this one because this one is super easy to spoil, and I do not want to do that. Basically, what we have is we have a gangster family, and the main guy gets taken out very early on in the film, and we have they kind of run it like a corporation where they have the big boardroom and they have all the guys sitting around the table, and they now have to decide who's going to fill the big seat. And there's a few candidates that are up for promotion. They're, coming from two different sides of the family. There's guys that are up for promotion, and this board has to decide who is going to fill that seat. And the two guys that they're looking at come from very different backgrounds, and they all have their crews that work for them and whatnot, and they each have their own way of doing things. And in the meantime, we have the police, the investigators, who have been, of course, following this family for years and trying to catch people, because that's how these movies go. They always have the cops with the pictures and the whatnot. No surprises there. But there are some things that happen, there's some twists and some turns, and I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil it, because I definitely enjoyed going into this blind. I watched the trailer and that's it, and the trailer didn't give anything away. But really, really good, great action sequences. It's a gangster film, so you're going to get plenty of mob-type violence, and you're going to have people turning on each other, and everything that you would expect from a typical gangster film. It's just in Korean, but really, really good, really solid, some bloody battles, some great things that go on. And I think if you like the gangster type films, you're really, really going to enjoy this. And yes, it's Korean, it's got English subtitles, but it's really easy to follow. So don't be put off by the subtitles, because there's so much good cinema out there, so many good films out there that are foreign language films. And this is just one example, but this was really, really good. It's got a little bit of a long runtime. I think, yeah, it's 135 minutes, but the pacing was so good, and the story was I was so involved with the story, it did not feel like a 135-minute runtime. So I would say I give this high marks. Definitely put New World on your list to check out, because it's a really, really good one. Now, this is a newer release. I think it came out last week. I had no interest in seeing this at all, but again, I heard a couple of good reviewers, or reviewers that I trust, give it pretty good marks, and I figured I would check it out. It's called Fighting with My Family. And I know you have The Rock here on the cover, and that was one of the things I thought it was just going to be like a Rock wrestling. I knew it was about wrestling, but I figured it was going to be a Rock wrestling movie. The Rock is only in it for like 10 minutes. I'm sure they just put him on the cover to kind of get that, the Rock crowd in. But really, the main guy is Vince Vaughn, and he does such a great job. This is based on true events. Now, I am not into WWE or wrestling or any of the, I don't know who's who. I knew The Rock because he's The Rock now, but I don't know anyone in wrestling, but it is the story of the WWE wrestler Paige. Now, I don't know, do people like her? Do they not like her? I don't know, but it didn't matter to me. This is her story of how she came to get her place in the WWE. And she comes from a wrestling family. Her whole family wrestles, and she and her brother, their whole life, all they want to do is get a tryout for the WWE. They come from the UK, and they're trying to get the tryout for the WWE and come over to America and train and do whatever they need to do. And Nick Frost plays the father, and he does such a great job at playing the father. But I love Nick Frost. He's great in everything. And I thought this was really good. Having gone in knowing nothing about this woman or her story or her family, I really, really enjoyed this. I thought the story was fun. It was engaging. It was interesting to see all the wrestling sequences, the training sequences. Everything was believable. It was good. It was well done. It was well acted. There were funny parts. There were really intense parts, and I just thought overall it was really, really good. It was way better than I expected it to be, and I found her story to be really, really interesting. So, lover or not, I thought the movie was really good. So, and that's coming from someone who has absolutely no interest in wrestling, but I do like good movies, and this one, I really had zero expectations for it, and I came away really, really enjoying this one. I would recommend this to anyone. And if you don't want to run out and buy it, I would say at least give it a rent. Like, if you're not a fan of hers or whatever, give it a rent because it's definitely a good one. It's rated PG-13 because, you know, you have the violence and then there's some language, but, you know, really it's pretty cool, and it's really neat that you see the whole family, the mother, the father, the brother, her, everybody was involved in wrestling. Like, that was their whole life, and I've never seen that before, so that was really interesting to see. And like, basically she grew up, you know, being groomed to be a wrestler, as did her brother. But yeah, really cool story about a really interesting family and their journey. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, so definitely check out Fighting with My Family. And now this last one, this comes from a company called Scream Team Releasing, and I have been getting quite a few movies from them lately. I've been buying. They're not sending them to me. I'm not being paid for this, so I bought all the movies myself, and I bought this one myself, and I'm not being paid by them to promote them or anything like that, just to get that out of the way. But I have been buying quite a few movies from them, and all the movies that I've watched so far, I have really enjoyed. And I am a big supporter of anything independent, whether it be music, movies, books, anything like that. I'm a big supporter. So when I get a good one, I definitely want to pass it on to you guys. And this one is called Cherokee Creek, and it is basically a Bigfoot movie. So it's kind of a dark comedy horror movie. So if you like a little bit of comedy mixed in with your horror, you're going to enjoy this one. And this is one for the Bigfoot fans. It's definitely geared around Bigfoot. You have a group of friends who are taking their buddy who's getting married. They're taking him out into the woods for a bachelor party, and they're hanging around the campfire, and they're just having funny conversations. And it turns out that one of the guys believes in Bigfoot, and he's like, listen, there's 3 rules with Bigfoot. You don't pee in the woods, you don't poop in the woods, and you don't have sex in the woods, or Bigfoot will come and he'll kill you. And he believes in all kinds of conspiracy theories, UFOs, and, you know, Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, everything. He believes in everything. So his friends are kind of making fun of him, and I would say, you know, you're watching an independent film, you're not going to expect the acting to be, you know, Academy Award worthy, but I thought the acting was really pretty good, and it was a believable conversation that a group of friends would be having around a campfire. And the other thing was, I thought that this was mostly done at night, and the cinematography was so good. It was really well done, and the sound was spot on. Like, everything about this was good. The gore is good, the practical effects are good. The Bigfoot costume it's kind of funny, but it's what you would expect from a Bigfoot movie. I mean, what do you expect Bigfoot to look like? So yeah, I thought it was pretty well done. And overall, I thought it was really good. And when Bigfoot starts showing up and starts taking people out, there's some really good kills in this one. So you're having a good time, and the laughs are not over the top. It's not silly humor. I mean, like I said, it's exactly what you would expect of a bunch of friends hanging out in the woods, drinking, having a bachelor party. And then something horrible shows up. But yeah, there's a good mix, there's a good balance of that comedy and horror is basically what I'm trying to say. And I thought it was really well done. It was a lot of fun. And if you haven't checked out Scream Team Releasing yet, I'm going to link them in the description. Go over, watch some of their trailers, and do your homework. And if it looks like something that you'd enjoy, grab a few, or, you know, pick up one and see what you think. I think you might be able to stream this one on Amazon now. I think they had a to-do with Amazon because the film kind of starts out with 2 masked guys yelling about Amazon banning the movie. But I think that must have been rectified because I believe I saw this on Amazon Prime for streaming. So check it out if you want to stream it first before you buy it. But you can, if you can see that, you can actually have it where the cast will sign the movie and they'll send it to you, which I always think is fun. But yeah, I would definitely say Cherokee Creek is a good one, especially for the Bigfoot fans out there. And if you're cool with indie horror and, you know, you want to see what somebody can do on a shoestring budget, they did a really good job. And, you know, I am of the opinion that not everything has to be the big summer blockbuster that's, you know, millions and millions of dollars and special effects and CGI. Sometimes it's just nice to see a really good independent movie, and this would be one of them. So those are my picks for this week, and I hope you guys found 1 or 2 or all these things, something that you like in the pile to either pick up or stream or whatever. You know, I liked all of these, so I think you have a lot to choose from here. And I want to thank you guys as always for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I upload my content. And we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, because I would love to have you here. And that is going to do it for me for today. I am going to be back again real soon. I have a lot of cool videos planned for you guys. But I guess that's going to do it for me today, because I am hungry and I am going to go eat before Leatherface eats my head off. Anyway, that's it for today. So for now, that's a wrap.